His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and shall bring him to the King of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. For the transgression of my people was he stricken, and he made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. It had pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thine garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat? I had trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth.
Right? Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. In his son's name, who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, real name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. Also giving praises, honor, and glory unto the Yahweh HaKadosh, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes its edification possible. I want to say shalom to all you sincere-hearted Akim wa Akwat, that's you brothers, and few sincere sisters make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. I also want to give double honors unto our beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught us truth and who rule well. And I'm the brother Osman Wath here from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, visited by the beloved brother Amathia. Khan. And we're just going to go into the topic of this lesson. As you can see on your screen, it says current events. The siege is laid against Babylon. Destabilization and port strike looms. All right, destabilization and port strike looms. And we got a few videos queued up, that we want to go through and commentate on, through the spirit. Okay, tying these things with biblical prophecy, because that's what we're commanded to do. As a matter of fact, we'll open up with that in 2 Ezra 9, and from the top, this is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. 2 Ezra 9 and 1, it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And what time are we measuring? We're measuring the time of the Gentiles, pursuant to Luke 21 and 24, okay, spoken by our beloved Yahweh Shah. He says, For the time of the Gentiles for Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Okay, and the time of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled. And how do we know that? By looking at that timeline, if you will, through the spirit in Daniel the 2nd chapter and Daniel the 7th chapter, concerning all these particular heathen nations that would oppress the children of Israel, starting with the Assyrian Babylonian captivity, fast forwarding all the way down into these times, which is the revised Roman Empire, composed of NATO and the EU and Babylon the Great, being on top of that scarlet colored beast, pursuant to Revelation 17. So this is the time that we're measuring. Okay, it says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, and some of those signs, some of the tokens that he told Ezra is mentioned right here in this third verse. But when you read the prior verse or prior chapter, second Ezra, the 8th chapter, he was expounding a little bit more about those tokens. So verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. That's right, man. The end is made manifest because of these and by these particular signs and tokens, which, these they're also likened unto birth pains. Okay, when you see, wars, rumors of wars, just like our Lord Yahweh said in Matthew 24 chapter, speaking to the disciples concerning the end of the days, wars, rumors of wars, famines, pestilences, plagues. All right, looks like, give me 1 second. Looks like we got a bad connection here. Esau's been messing with these live streams these past few days.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think we're good. It's Baba Kashah. If it starts to buffer or anything, just let me know. We should be good though, because I'm on hotspot. I'm on Wi-Fi here at the house. But yeah, you got anything before we start playing these videos out?
Sure. This is Ephesians 5 and verse 15. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right. It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. All right. So when you measure the time, as you just read in 2 Ezra 6, we measure the time diligently.
2 Ezra 9.
6 and 9. Yeah,
it was 9.
9 and 6.
Okay.
It said measure the time. Like you said, we're measuring the time and redeeming the time, knowing the times we're in is some bad times. All right, where we're finna see things start breaking down of Babylon's rulership. Like you said, the manufacturing aspect of it, the trade aspect of it, the money system. These things are starting to fall apart, and we've seen these things before during the time of the Romans. All right, and throughout history. All right, it says, that's why it says, wherefore be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Like you said, we're seeing the signs in the heavens. All right, basically giving you the times that we're in based on what we're seeing now, how things are about to manifest as far as the collapse of this system.
That's right. And like I said, we got a few videos we want to play. But before we do, I just want to grab a quick definition for that word, lay siege or siege. As the title of the lesson says, the siege is laid against Babylon. This word, lay siege, let's see. Yep. It says barricade, conduct a siege of a place, barricade, close up, shut off. It says besiege, beset, surround. All right, and let's see. There is a particular definition I was looking at earlier, and it says of trade and commerce. And this is what we see happening with these pork strikes looming. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I tell you what. Let me just read it off my phone, because I had screenshotted the. Here we go. That's off the Merriam-Webster thesaurus. I just want to show the screen, so just bear with me. Yep, here we go. The Wadi Yahweh Shema Shah. So as you can see, this is off of the Merriam-Webster thesaurus. It says lay siege to, the phrase meaning what? It says as in a besiege, to surround as a fortified place with armed forces for the purpose of capturing or preventing commerce and communication. All right, now all these things are being done by the elites. Okay, basically, laying this siege, economically, morally, every facet of life, is being threatened right now. Okay, because the elites' MO is basically to destabilize. That's the name of the game right now. It's to destabilize and to break down. It's to break down the foundations of this place. And as a matter of fact, when you get that word destabilize, D means to take away, and stabilize goes into stability or foundation. And that's biblical prophecy. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter says this. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And speaks about, here we go, 2nd Ezra 15. We'll start at verse 11. Salaki verse 10, he says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Now, we know that this is speaking about America, spiritual Egypt, because this is way after the Lord delivered us from, the grips of Pharaoh, when you read the book of Exodus. So this Egypt is speaking about, or making reference here to in 2nd Ezra 15, it's talking about spiritual Egypt, which lines up with Isaiah 19 and Revelation, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse. So he says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. And that's exactly how, Jake is being led right now. And they don't even know it, man. Mm-hmm. All right. But this is why the Lord set up the prophets to redeem his elect, so they don't go into the slaughter, man. All right. It says, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and that stretched out arm. And that's these judgments, man, that the Heavenly Father is going to bring by the way of his right hand, which is Yahweh Shah, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. This is how we know it's talking about America, because that's going to be the fate of Babylon the Great when you read Revelation 18 and Jeremiah 50 and 51. This whole landmass is going to be turned into a giant desert, man. Mm-hmm. Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and we're witnessing that, man. This place is mourning. The pride and the mirth and the tabrets and the singing and the daughters of music is brought low, man. People are in a mournful state. Why? Because the wicked is bearing rule. You see, he's making life a living hell more and more day by day. And as me and the we was speaking about before we start this camera, basically, man, in the form of this digital currency, and ultimately that R to the F to the I to the D device, all that is just basically a digital slavery. It's going to be that C hip is basically digital. It's a digital yoke. Yeah, that's the word we use, a digital yoke, man. You see, because in times past, in history, you would put actual, the slave owner, he'll put an actual, set of yokes upon your neck to where you're restricted, to where, you can't move freely. You got to go wherever he, tells you to go. You can't leave the plantation, so on and so forth. But here in these times, this man, he literally he's going to have control and access over people's lives just by the push of a button, by turning on or off your micro C hip, man. So those are the digital yokes, you see? And in order for him to set that system up, he has to destabilize. He has to, take away the current infrastructure right now that he has in the form of his in an economic sense, that is. It says, oh, you about to say something?
No, I'm saying that's right. Agreeing with you.
God. So verse 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it, see, the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So we see an attack upon the foundations of this place. All right. So once again, that's the name of the game right now. And the elites, they plan on, bringing order ab chaos, order out of chaos. So their mindset is just totally destabilizing, Babylon the Great, and really the whole world's, foundation, so they could usher in a solution. So with all that being said, we just want to play a few videos. We're going to touch into the aspect of war, and we're going to touch into the aspect of, this trade and commerce and how that's going to affect, the daily lives of these Babylonians, man. Okay. It's about to be holy hell up on this place, man. And Abaratazah, they don't come up with a solution by Monday night to where these strikes do occur. And it's looking like it very well may occur, man. Because here, as it be, well, it's Sunday at 3 p.m. here, Central Standard Time. Okay, so shit, they got tomorrow to come up with a decision, which is looking like they're not. So what does that mean? It means it's about to be all hell, man. It's about to be hyperinflation, okay, even more, which is going to amp up crime, okay? It's going to just we're going to get into it, man. All right, the straits is about to come. So let's play this. Oh, this is, before we play this, let me play that copyright.
Yeah, fair use.
Yeah, fair use, yeah. So let me show the screen here. So, because we know how Esau be tripping, man. All right, so disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Yep. And we're not making any type of money off of this. We're just simply going into the news and we're breaking it down with the Holy Bible. So let's go.
Now to some breaking news happening in Israel. It has carried out a massive strike. Israel says it was targeting the terrorist organization's leader, Hassan Nasrallah.
Good is portrayed as evil, and evil is portrayed as good. We see this moral confusion when Israel is falsely accused of genocide, when we defend ourselves against enemies who try to commit genocide against us.
In Mecca, we see that what that attack looks like in that video, as Tom says, it does not look like a normal strike. They meant business, whatever they were going after. What does this mean?
The missile strikes focusing on the central headquarters of Hezbollah in Beirut. Israel claims the headquarters for the Iran-backed militia were intentionally built onto residential buildings. There are fears the attack could intensify an already dire situation in the region.
I haven't seen any strikes that caused the massive cloud of smoke or clouds of smoke that this one did. It was absolutely huge, and Israeli officials saying that bunker buster bombs were used on those residential blocks.
Yet we face savage enemies who seek our annihilation, and we must defend ourselves against these savage murderers. Our enemies seek not only to destroy us.
And look where he's addressing, who's he's addressing to, the United Nations, which we know, this particular pact that they just came up with last Sunday, a week ago, the UN Pact for the Future. All right. And this is, man, once again, as we was touching into camp this past Friday, all this is basically Esau just fighting for that birthright back, man, in sum of everything, but in the midst of it, man, it's about to be Jacob's trouble. That's what all this is brewing into, man. And it's going to usher in, Yahweh Shah, but these things must be fulfilled. You got anything? If not, I'm gonna grab this real quick. You got something?
But look at his wordplay.
Yeah.
Words can be in his mouth, can be smoother than butter, but words in his heart, he deceives you. Because what is his wordplay? He keep talking about. Look, he said the murderers. He's putting bad words as far as like how our enemies, these killers, and these different things he's putting out there. he's saying that for you to be like, yeah, it must be then. Because that's Esau's wordplay. You know, but yet they could be saying it, but ain't that the same thing they're doing?
Right.
Hey, Esau is wicked, bro.
And that's why all these other nations, they're tired of Esau, Edom, man. The Lord is making him despised amongst the heathen because everybody's privy. They're hip to, how this man gets down.
Yeah.
And he's been having the power, basically having this media in his advantage, man, because these small hatters, they're the ones that own the media, so they can say whatever they want to say to try to sound justified in the ears of the masses. But yeah, all the while, these people, man, they're defending their own selves, but they're looked at as the criminals, like what you were saying. But that's just a part of Esau's, witchcraft and his sorceries that he plays by using the fourth branch of the military, which is the media. But you got something?
You gonna bring something up?
No, I was just gonna pull it up for you.
This is let's do Revelation 17 and 16.
Okay, I had that written down. It was gonna go into it was gonna go into that in this video.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get it. We just hold that.
They seek to destroy our common civilization.
While many in the audience walked out.
What hypocrisy! What
And check that. It says when he was bro. Oh, we got to get it. Obadiah now. So as he was addressing the UN, which the UN is comprised of 197 countries approximately, from all over the world, and there's a little bit over 200 countries, so it's like 98% of the countries here, bro. Most of them walked out when he was addressing them, man, and that's biblical prophecy. Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, power concerning Edom, you Edomites, man. And who's the head of you Edomites? The Amalekites. You small hatters, it says, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent amongst the heathen. Who's the ambassadors? The prophets. Arise ye, and let us go up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Let's get that word small real quick in the Hebrew. All right, Strong's H 6996, Kathan. It says, look, small, young, unimportant. Unimportant, man. All right, so you had the masses of those people that was there at the UN meeting while Netanyahu, not a Jew, was addressing them. Okay, they showed that he was unimportant, man. They're tired of Esau, Edom, man, because they're privy to his lies and his deceptions, man. You see? So unimportant, diminutive. So yeah, that's the point, man. Unimportant. The skirts of Esau is lifted up.
double standard? What a joke! Until this anti-Semitic swamp is drained, the UN will be viewed by fair-minded people everywhere as nothing more than a contemptuous farce.
About an hour after Netanyahu left the podium, the IDF says it carried out a precise strike,
Check
targeting
this out.
Hezbollah's central command and leadership in Beirut.
So an hour after that addressal, if you will, that's when they commenced the strike.
The strike that happened, like you said, they saw the people walking out. He thought they had their back, but what did it say? He said, "I'm gonna go ahead and do it." He didn't even basically conspire or mention it to America, right?
Right, that's what it's about to say.
Okay.
Right here, yep. And then you can pull it at.
Tell CBS News that Israel did not give the United States advance warning of
See,
the
let
strike.
me rewind.
Sources tell CBS News that Israel did not give the United States advance warning of the strike.
So that's biblical prophecy, Jeremiah 49. The least of the flock shall draw them out.
Yep.
So an hour after this speech, that's when he commenced and had this massive strike. Okay, and Hezbollah killing their chief. You see, and without the United States, approval or even recognition, man. You see, so you got what you got.
Done.
Yep. What you got?
Well, I had the Jeremiah 49.
Let's get it. All right, I'll read it for you.
Yeah. First, it started like 16 and then jumped down.
Okay. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 16. He says, I'll start at verse 15. It just said what we read in Obadiah. For lo, I have made thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
See, and like I said, they have been deceived of thy terribleness. And like I said, what these Amalekites are doing is a terrible thing. But like I said, they feel like, well, I'm gonna deceive these people, and I've been doing this for so long, I can also persuade them now. But now, like I say, now you seeing the people walking out, but what they say, they pride, and they still prideful. I'm gonna still go ahead and perform my enterprise. I'm still gonna move forward. All right, that's what's gonna bring more of these countries to come in, because they say they are battling, basically at war against Hezbollah. But you got to think that is really Iran.
Yeah.
And what they're doing now, they're coming out and they're doing all these bombings and unaliving these leaders over over there with the Hezbollah and all that. That's gonna basically draw out Iran. Now, when Iran is really drawn out and they are in a full-blown attack towards or a battle with Israel, that's gonna bring out these other heavy hitters as far as these what they call them superpowers. Russia, China, America, but that goes into prophecy, because where it starts at, it starts with the head of the Edomites, all right, these Amalekites over there, all right, over there in the land, these old small headers.
Yeah, and if I can add, as you just said, that remember it was probably like a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago now, when Israel had sent that strike over there to Iran. Well, that right there, okay, we know Russia ain't forgot about that, because the reason why that was so critical and noteworthy is because Russia, they have a lot of their military depot in Iran, in the actual land of Iran.
Yeah.
And so that's a threat to them. Then you just had Ukraine. They struck a Russian military facility this past week. So man, hey, it's hot on the block, man.
Yeah.
The Middle East is literally on fire right now, man.
Yep.
And then we haven't even touched the things that's coming over here to America, which we're about to get into with these port strikes. And this is biblical prophecy, man. This is the time to really, lock in. Lock in into Yahweh Bashmal Shah. Lock in into this body, man. Don't forsake the assembly. This is where the protection is at. Psalms 91, he that abideth in the secret place of the Most High. You see? That's who the Lord's going to cover, man, in these evils, because we're going to be in the thick of it. But see, this is why we've been preaching. Okay, starting with our beloved apostles, bishops, elders, and his brothers, man. This is why we've been preaching day in and day out. Okay, to admonish the elect, man. Okay, to to put up, these sacrifices, man, is worthy, so the Lord can put upon us that thawah, that mark, that sign from exemption from judgment, because the Lord is about to let judgment rain down, man.
In 2nd Ezra 15, it says it's gonna be great fearfulness. What is great fearfulness upon the earth, and great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth. And it tells you that in 2nd Ezra 15, in the, like 36, 37 verse. And it's going to be that. You're going to see that happening. That's why you need the Lord, that covering of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because it's going to be a fearful thing when these things happen. You got to think, this is the will of the Lord, as we mentioned earlier. This is the Lord's will for these things that have to happen upon the earth. All right? This is going to help with the turning of the table, the turning of the tides. All right? Setting up where Esau thinking he's going to fill his belly by basically doing all this deceitfulness, destruction, trying to set up to have everybody to be their God. But yet the Lord is going to come and draw the line. So if you don't have the covering of the Lord, you're going to basically be on this left-hand side, and the Lord is coming to bring forth righteous indignation upon the ones that are not with him.
That's right. So Jeremiah 49:16, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Yeah, that's my city. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. All right, you got to think during the time, what they call it, the Middle Ages. All right, those times where they got drove off into what? Back into the Caucasus Mountains. All right. They basically came back and being the Lord of the earth, but they came back as strong. And now they're saying we're going to be setting we're going to set our nest upon high now. We're going to be like the Most High. We're never going back down. You keep going.
It says that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh.
Hey, the eagle is one of the high, that they're known for flying the highest of any other bird.
And they're a predator. Predator. Apex predator.
Yeah, the apex.
Yeah.
Even when the eagle, when he feel like that he's getting too old, he's gonna die, what he's gonna do? He'll fly up and he'll break his beak off to grow a new one to keep going. And that's what Esau's looking to do. He's looking to bring everything down and come up like the phoenix. He want to break his beak so he can keep thriving and being in power. All right? But that's not going to work in these times. Esau thinking he's going to break his beak and grow. And like I said, I think eagle, when they get like in 50 or 60 years, they can break their beak and then keep living another 20, 30 years. But if they don't do it, they'll end up dying. But he's going to try to fly up into these nests and these high stars and bring his economy, because this is his, the Lord gave him this, Job 9:24, gave him what? This power, all right? Gave him the lands, all right? This is his rulership, all right? This is his blessing right now, but he don't want to let it go.
Yep. It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why when you go to them thinking they're going to heal Babylon, all right, they're going to be astonished of it burning, because they'll say, that's why I said, is this the man? All right, is this the man that's been ruling for a number of years, even going back in the time of the Grecians, the Romans, all right? And this is Rome 2.0. Yep. You can see this is the continuation of his rulership. Now they're starting to see the collapse. And you can say, well, look at Russia. That's what these heathens do. Esau is going to be against Esau, all right? Because who's ruling? They're ruling. But like I said, the Lord is going to turn the hooks back, and it says Ezekiel, the jaws back into Russia, what? To defeat this power of the earth, which is Babylon the Great, aka America. But yet he said, I'm against you too.
Gog and Magog.
Yeah, I'm against you too.
Yeah.
So the Lord, he's basically pitting them against one another, but he's gonna come and judge all of them.
Yeah.
But he's gonna utilize these other nations and Russia to come forth and bring down the hammer of the earth, which is Babylon the Great.
God. I'm going to skip down here, verse 20. It says, verse 20, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh by Shemal Shah, that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes, that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
He's constantly against Esau, Edom. That's why I said, people say, oh, well, the Lord is with everybody. He say he hated Esau and his descendants. All right? And he said he's still against them. And he's going to utilize what? These Amalekites, the least of the flock, to bring out everybody into what? This all-out blast world war.
Yep, starting with America. You know, America's going to be drawn out, you know, because it has to defend, you know, these small headers, man.
Yep.
And let me finish this verse out, and then we're going to go back to this video. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The land of Israel is going to be desolate, and the land of America, man. So let's go back to this video. I'm going to rewind to the part to where he says that they brought this strike without the approval of America.
Precise strike. But an hour after Netanyahu...
As nothing more than a contemptuous farce.
About an hour after Netanyahu left the podium, the IDF says it carried out a precise strike, targeting Hezbollah's central command and leadership in Beirut. Sources tell CBS News that Israel did not give the United States advance warning of the strike.
Yep, and what's that's going to do? Okay, as America is getting dragged off into this war, that's going to make the EU be like, hold up, you know, y'all doing too much over there, man.
Right.
You see? Y'all doing too much, and that's going to make, okay, this division between Babylon the Great and the EU even greater, man. And that's prophecy. Bro, the Lord got this. Bro, this is chess game, man.
Yep.
And he's about to checkmate the shit out you damn Edomites, man. And all the wicked of the earth, man. This is checkmate. So this is, what is that? Let's get this in Jeremiah 50. Snare. This is Jeremiah chapter 50. And here we go. Jeremiah 50. We'll start at verse 22. It says, man, let's start at verse 21. Jeremiah 50:21. Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Akkad. And these are just two nicknames, you know, for Babylon the Great. Merathaim means double rebellion. Akkad in the Hebrew means visitation. So this place, America, is going to get visited because of its double rebellion, man. This place is like the Tower of Babel 2.0 times 100, man. You see? And hey, this place is being visited. It's being visited by the angels of the Lord. This is why America is the most, it has the most chariot sightings out of any other nation in the world. And it's also about to be visited by these particular calamities that the Lord is about to bring upon it. So he says, go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pakad, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. Verse 22, a sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. That's all we hear, man, is a sound of battle. All these nations, Joel, the 3rd chapter, gathering themselves together for the battle.
Say what this is going to lead to is the land of the north. It speaks about early in the chapter, which is going into Russia to come and make this land desolate.
Well, it says a company of nations from the north. The land of the north is particularly America, but
like up in verse 3.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, it says, for out of the north, Jeremiah 50:3, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, and they shall depart, both man and beast.
Yeah, and then we're seeing these things starting to take place to transpire, because that's going to be set up in due time. All right, but it starts with, like I said, at least drawing the flock out.
Yo.
All right, who's going to bring them out of their comfort place, or their zone, out of their thrones? And that's what's going to happen. These Amalekites, these small hats, all right, over in the land, they're going to get what? America, which is Babylon, is sitting on the throne. That's why the Lord said, what is that? Jeremiah 49, come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter.
Isaiah 47.
Come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There's no throne for you. All right, that is the why, and how they're going to be moved out of their spot, starting with those small hats.
Yep. Jeremiah 50:24, it says, so like in verse 23, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? And this is what it's all going to lead up to, with the least of the flock bringing Babylon the Great, dragging America into this war. All right, that's what it's going to lead into, is this hammer of the earth, which is America, being cut asunder and broken. You see, because that's what the elites have used America for. All right, is to pretty much, go around the earth and be and to be a terrorist, man. Yeah. They've used America to terrorize all these other nations, man, through the form of its military might. Because although we know America's going to be destroyed, you got to give it the credit, where credit is due, because the Lord rose this place up, and he did so by ultimately strengthening America's military force, man. America's military, it's par none, man. Yeah. It is pristine. But we know, according to biblical prophecy, that it's going to be destroyed. But man, this place, America has a powerful ass army, man. You see, high tech, fighter jets, destroyers, destroyers, missiles, MRAP vehicles, technology. Like, they have weapons that they can utilize against you heart attack guns. Yep. Radio frequency weapons, biological weapons. Like, so this place, it's a hammer, man, but it's gonna be broken and cut asunder. So it says, how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Right. So this snare is basically the Lord's checkmate on this place, man. Right. All right. And that snare is ultimately what? Obadiah. Let's get an NLT real quick. Obadiah, I believe verse 6. Here we go. Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, let's start at verse 6. It says, every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Woo! Yeah, man. Hey, you Edomites, y'all are being fully exposed and laid open, man. And it's starting with the Lord's prophets, man. You see, this the light of the word, shining in every nook and cranny of the darkness of this wicked empire, man. So it says every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken. Yeah, because everything that Esau Edom has, it was stolen, man. All these treasures, man, chiefly the treasure of the Lord, which is his people, the Israelites. You see? So it says all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land.
They're going to hate the Lord.
Yep. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you. That's that snare that the Lord laid for Babylon, as we read in Jeremiah 50 and 24. It says your friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it, man. You see? So yeah, like the priest just said, and he quoted Revelation. We could grab that real quick. Revelation 17, Bible Kashah, and I believe 15. You see, NATO and the EU, okay, which is allies with America. Okay, they're about to they're about to completely turn themselves away from Babylon, man. And see, the thing is that America, they don't believe that's really going to happen. They know there's some friction, and odds, between them. But they think at the end of the day that, the EU is going to, stand with them.
Right.
See? But that's why the Lord says you won't even know about it. You see? So you got that in Revelation?
It's Revelation 17 and verse 16 says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
Yep. And those 10 horns are speaking about who? The EU, which was originally, 10 nations, the 10 common markets, European Economic Community, which in these times is more, than those 10 countries. But originally it was 10. And that's what this prophecy is speaking about. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. And that whore being Babylon the Great, as we understand and read previously in this chapter, starting at the first verse. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, which is just all code for saying what? They're going to shoot missiles upon this place, along with, the known enemies of Babylon, right, which is Gog and Magog, Iran, China, North Korea. It says, for the Most High have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. So this is all the will of the Lord. It says, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. You see? So all these things have to happen for prophecy's sake, man. And look at the title of this particular section. It has in a blue letter. It says, victory for the Lamb. You see? Victory for the Lamb, man. Because Yahweh Shah is going to come. As it says in 2 Ezra 13 chapter, one realm shall fight against another realm. You see? So Yahweh Shah is going to come in this realm, okay, in the midst of World War III. And he's going to plead with all flesh, man. All right, the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. You see? And you Edomites, y'all going to be brought down. Okay, chiefly Babylon the Great. All right, its military. But let's go back to this video real quick.
Message for the tyrants of Tehran. If you strike us, we will strike you. There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot reach. And that's true of the entire Middle East.
They're worried that Iran could respond through other proxies, as they did just last night. Sirens were sounding across Israel's second largest city of Tel Aviv, a population of 300,000 people headed straight to bomb shelters, as a ballistic missile was fired from Yemen by Iran's other proxy in the region, the Houthis. And so there are a lot of moving parts here. Israel has been faced with a 7-front war since the October 7th massacre.
Man, y'all hear that? 7-front war. So Israel is fighting, a war on 7 sides, on 7 fronts, man. So America's got to be dragged into it. And they're already dragged into it, because this past Friday, as a matter of fact. Yeah, this Friday. You had 3, let's see if I could Google it real quick.
Then they said they were sending some, Ukraine, they were sending, troops. They were actually sending troops.
Yep.
To certain places. So America is in it. They're just not really like a full-blown war with them, but they're basically in it, especially going over there with Ukraine, supplying them with certain weapons, maybe going to train them. Now over here in Israel, America getting spread thin as well.
Yep. And here on Friday, you got 3 U.S. warships came under attack Friday off the coast of Yemen by Iran-backed Houthi rebels who have disrupted commercial shipping in the region.
That should be major news.
Yeah, it should be major news, but it's not. They still talking about P. Dizzle, man. You see, but now we understand why they keep throwing this nigga out there in the mainstream media news, man? Why is Pete Dizzle talked about on CNN?
Right.
You know, this is what should be talked about. You know, these 3 U.S. warships that came under attack Friday, okay, over there in the Red Sea, which, yes, that's going to affect gas prices, man, here in the States, along with the port strikes that's about to commence. Abaratazal Tuesday, man, says who have disrupted commercial shipping in the region, but no one was hurt. Officials said the warship shot down nearly 24 incoming missiles and drones while transiting a narrow entrance into the Red Sea. You see? So let's go back to this video real quick.
Iran now seeks to weaponize its nuclear program for the sake of the peace and security of all your countries. For the sake of the peace and security of the entire world.
And see, the Lord is so cold, man. It's like he just keeps throwing out code words for the elect to pick up on. This nigga just said peace and security 2 times in a row. It's like the Lord's like, listen, you know, listen.
Yeah.
1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. This is what's coming. Sudden destruction. And they're crying out peace and safety. The UN Pact for the Future. That's a form of them saying, crying out peace and safety. All right? So sudden destruction is coming. There's a reason why we've been having all these blood moons, super moons, wolf moons, harvest moons. We're about to have there's a reason. The Lord is about to do something big, man. He's already doing it. You see, but it's about to be apparent in everybody's eyes, man. And prophecy is about to slap the shit out of everybody, man. Because right now you can still ignore it, okay? Well, you can act like ain't nothing going on. You can still party, go here, go there, get some gas, and go to brunch. But soon, man, prophecy is about to slap everybody in the face, and it's gonna make your ass.
No word. So man be. All right, for the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and we see it to this day now, because it's not for the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and we see it to this day now, because there's nothing new under the sun, as it says in Ecclesiastes. People are not paying attention what's going on. They're being all this disguise, or they looking to the left, and everything's happening to the right. These people being married, giving into marriage, partying, and trying to discuss what's going to happen to Diddler and what's going to Pete Diddler, and also with Jay-Z and all these other celebrities, but not seeing that shit, it's damn near a cusp of war. And like I said, it's going to be just a moment in time before these things are going to happen and come like a thief in the night. When you're going to look up and you can see a damn bomb coming about to fall on your head. You're going to see these explosions that's going to happen around you. Like I say, it might be EMP strikes. All these things are close by.
Man, you mind checking your phone, because it's saying I got bad connection, and it's it stopped playing on my phone. Esau, man.
You're right here.
Yeah, if we having technical difficulties, Baba Kashab, somebody could just put it in the comment board. Oh, it's good for you? Okay, I guess it's just my phone there. If it's choppy for y'all, Baba Kashab, just let us know. Baba Kashab. That was it? That's all you wanted on that? On that Matthew 24?
Yeah, that was about it.
Okay, con. Yeah,
let me finish 39.
Oh, okay, con.
All right, it says, verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, so all these things, when it really comes down to it, when it's going to become all out war, you're going to see, even before that, because you're going to see all these, probably these inflations, all right, the collapse of the food chain, all these things are manifesting before your eyes. So you're going to see all these things that's going to happen before the Son of Man comes, but people are not preparing themselves, all right, mentally or physically, all right. But all this is transpiring. That's why you're supposed to look out and see the things that are happening with these other nations, all right, with like I said, the economy, all these things that are coming, because a lot of people don't even know what's about to happen Tuesday.
Yep.
A lot of people.
Yep.
They don't know what you talking about. I don't know. Because the only thing Jay worried about is celebrity news and TikTok and let me take a picture of myself. All this, it ain't nothing but vanity. That's why King Solomon said vanity is nothing. Everything is vanity out here. But that's what's going to happen, because you're going to be blindfolded till the Lord come and strike you on your head.
So yeah, man. Yeah, let's play a little bit more in this video, and then we're gonna segue into the next section of this lesson, going into the things that's about to happen here up on the soils of America, man. Which all this is built up. Everything that's happening in the Middle East is all gonna spill over and have, a ripple effect here in the States.
We must not let that happen. It would usher in a historic reconciliation between the Arab world and Israel, between Islam and Judaism, between Mecca and Jerusalem. That's why one of the best ways to foil Iran's nefarious designs is to achieve the peace. Such a peace would be the foundation
sudden destruction.
for an even broader.
Every time I hear that word peace come out from the mouth of the wicked, I just hear sudden destruction. What was that? Isaiah 48:22. It says, there is no peace, saith the Lord, Yahweh, unto the wicked. So there's going to be no peace here, man. All right? It ain't going to be peace until Shiloh comes, man.
That's right.
All right? Until Yahweh Shai, okay, who is Solomon, until he comes. Okay? And in order for that peace to come, there's got to be war, man. All right? So with all that, now we're going to go into the next segment of this lesson. Unless you had anything else, we're going to go into the next segment of this lesson, touching into these possible port strikes that's going to commence, Tuesday, man. Abaratazah. And, hey, Baba Kashai, for you, Akiman Akwath, man, hey, put up these curses, man. Shalach Rayam, Wa Abadyam, Wa Haragyam, Wa Mashapatyam Lababal, send many evils and plagues upon Babylon the Great, to Babylon the Great, man. Keep those curses coming up, because all this is going to work in the elect's benefit, man. Hey, scripture says that the good cannot come unless the evil be unsown. So this evil has to be unsown, which is America, for the good to come, for the kingdom of heaven to come. So let's play this. This is off of Fox Business News. This was published a day ago. It says Americans will feel significant impact on possible port strike. American Trucking Association CEO is speaking about it. So here we go.
We are days away from a potential strike by 45,000 dock workers at more than 24 ports along the east and Gulf coasts. Negotiations remain at a standstill, with half of the nation's cargo in limbo. Trucking companies are scrambling to move products off ships before things potentially grind to a halt on Tuesday. And now major shipping companies say they will be slapping a port disruption surcharge on all cargo coming to or from these terminals if a strike does go through. Joining me now is American Trucking Association's president and CEO, Chris Spear. Chris, great to have you. Thanks very much for being here. What's your reaction to this, and where do you think this is going?
Well, Maria, thanks for having me. I think the impact, if this strike occurs next Tuesday, is going to be significant, not just on the economy, but Americans, everybody that's in need of goods each day are going to feel the impact that this is going to have. We're talking 36 ports in the East and Gulf Coast that are represented here.
Now, Maya, as we were watching this, remember the definition that we pulled earlier in this lesson from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. To lay siege, it says to surround as a fortified place, with America being that fortified place. It says with armed forces for the purpose of capturing or preventing commerce and communication. Because, man, listen, we already know, and we should know at this point, that all this is orchestrated chaos. Once again, the elites, destabilizing, Babylon the Great, so they could come in with this new order. And I want to grab this verse real quick. Now, this is Yahweh Shai making reference into 70 AD. Well, no, I'm going to hold that scripture. Let me first get this in Luke 21. Then we're going to go into Luke 19 here in a second. But this is Luke 21 and verse 25. And here's the context of it. It says the return of Hamashiach. These are the particular signs and tokens that Yahweh Shai gave us, so we can be on the lookout to understand that he's around the corner. It says, verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun. And we've been seeing that, solar eclipses. All right, we had a solar eclipse these past few months. We're about to have another one, I believe, in October. So those are the signs in the sun. It says, and in the moon, harvest moon, blood moon, all right, wolf moons. It says, and in the stars, okay, It says, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Now I'm gonna grab this word, perplexity. I'm gonna hit the root word for it.
Strong's G 639. Apareo. Apareo.
It says to be without resources. See? To be without resources. And this is what's being threatened right now with these port strikes that can easily happen this upcoming Tuesday. You see, the number one consuming nation, okay, is about to be without resources, Lord willing, man. Very soon, it's going to bring forth what? More chaos, more crime. It says to be in straits, to be left wanting. To be in straits means to be in a position of difficulty. And we're going to feel it too.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never forget, man. Elder Yatazat has said to his younger brothers a while ago, he says, Babylon is falling, but we in this bitch too.
Yeah.
You know? So we're going to feel it. And we'll be straight up and down line to the congregation, and we'll just say, no, we ain't going to feel nothing. You know, we're going to be all good. No, we're going to feel it. Acts 14 and 22. Mm-hmm. You know, for much tribulation, we shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. But the thing is, we have the comforter. Yeah. You see, to aid us and to give us that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and a stability, man, so we can make it through.
Yeah. Let's say, like I said, being straight, like I said, everything is going to become in a position of difficulty, you know. But like I said, we look at the signs and the wonders, even like in the moon, that harvest moon. Hey, we can just take that as a sign of when you're going into harvesting something. That's what going into like the gathering, a period in time where you gather your crops. All right, and you store them for what? You store them into like a building, you know, and keep them for to utilize. So the Lord is finna store His elect, you know. So we can look at that as a sign like the Lord is gathering up His elect now, because what? It's going to be difficult times that we're finna see. Things are not going to even get better. It's going to get worse. So we got to be prepared. And the Lord is preparing His elect to get through these things, the position of difficulty.
That's right. So it says to be without resources. And we know what 2 Ezra 15 chapter speaks about. You know, how people they're going to spoil their neighbors for the lack of bread. Yep. You know, for the want of all needs, basically. Says to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. See, because these people, they never went a day without, you know, having to fast. You know, they never went a day without Wi-Fi, never went a day without their coffee, or, you know, without all these particular things that they've gotten so accustomed to. Mm-hmm. You see, gas prices, they're going to skyrocket. As a matter of fact, this video is about to mention it. And we've been noticing how, you know, lately gas has been, you know, relatively cheap. Over here by my house, by my bayath, you know, gas has been like around $2.60 on average, which that's pretty good. You know, in comparison to, you know, how it was like 2 summers ago when it was like damn near $5. Yep. You know, but it's about to go back up there and even higher. It says to be at loss with oneself, to be in doubt. So you're gonna lose yourselves, man. Y'all gonna go crazy. You're gonna go insane. It says not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. It says to be at a loss mentally. See? And these are the judgments coming up on the wicked. So let's play this video some more.
5 of the top 10 in the country are going to shut down on Tuesday. You know, we're moving 12,000 trucks daily at Port of New York, New Jersey. This is very significant, especially on farmers. We're talking nearly half of the goods exported out of our ports come from these East Coast ports. We're talking produce.
So half of the goods just come from the East Coast ports, you know? Man, bro.
Poultry, cotton. This is very significant on our farmers. That produce is going to be felt first in week 1 if this were to occur. People are going to have limited choice, and they're going to pay a lot more for it. So I appreciate you paying attention to this, because it's coming.
Well, this is a great point that you're making. So produce gets hit.
See, he said it's coming. And that's what we've been telling you. But see, Jake don't believe shit until the so-called white man tells him. Mm-hmm. And the Lord been told us, the Lord been put us on game, man. Ezekiel 7:5 says, thus saith the Lord, power and evil and only evil, behold, is come. That's what we've been telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah. Only evil is coming here, not good. There's no peace to the wicked. Verse 7, an end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. I'm going to skip down here to let's see. Here we go. Verse 26. It says, mischief shall come upon mischief, rumor upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest and counsel from the ancients, man. So as times get harder, it's going to get to a point to where the Lord is going to also bring not just a famine for food, but also a famine on these words, man. Okay, he's going to hide his prophets. He's going to take them off the highways and hedges. All right, and he's going to protect them under his pavilion, man. While these people, they're going to be in a constant state of mourning and dwelling in torments and agony, man, as it says in 2 Ezra 9th chapter. You see? So this is what's coming up on the soils of America. Abaratazai comes Tuesday. And the water, brother Tazadak, for putting that curse up in the chat. Let's read it real quick. Let's say it. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakudash, Babakashah, Shalak Rayam, Ainashim, Abayim, Aisham, Haragyam, Mawatham, Wa Mashapayim, Al Babal, Hagadal, Aitha, the water Tamyad Tawab Aman, man. See? Copy, screenshot it. Okay, and say that curse, man. All right? Because this place got to go, man. You know? Scripture said, what is that? 2 Ezra 2 and 13. Real quick, and then we'll go back to this video. 2 Ezra 2 and 13. Go and you shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. See? So that's the spirit that the elect is in, man. The elect is ready to get up out of this place, man. All right? So we should be in the spirit of praying for a few days unto us. You know, asking the Lord to make the time short for the covenant's sake. Speed the times up for the elect's sake. And that's what he's doing. You know, and the kingdom is already prepared. So we're commanded to watch. Stay up on our watch, man. All right? And as we watch, what do Yahweh say? Pray. That's another thing. Luke 18 and 1. And he spake his parable unto them to this end, that men ought to always pray and not to faint, man. You see? So we got to pray. That's our connection to our power, man. And as we pray, we also put up curses. So let's go back to this video. You got anything out?
Well, just kind of laying back on you. Like I said, we got to constantly pray. We supposed to have that faith, because what does it says in we 2 Corinthians 5, for we walk by faith and not by sight. All right, so we walk by faith, by believing that the Lord is going to deliver us and believe that he is, and having to believe in that when these this turmoil and these hard times really occur here, that the Lord is going to get us through these positions of difficulties.
That's right.
First. And I was thinking that the real impact would be inflationary, because obviously the supply-demand dynamics leads to higher prices for things. We're just trying to get inflation down, and perhaps we see another spike as a result of this.
Absolutely, and trucks are the glue in all of this. Whether you move it on truck or rail, trucks are still going to move that last mile. And we're talking, large companies, but also the medium and small companies, independent contractors, owner-operators. They're going to get hung out to dry if these ports shut. So beyond the 85,000 ILA workers, we're talking thousands of other workers that support the supply chain. It's going to take a long time after a week to 2 weeks of shutdown for the economy to recover. So inflation is definitely an outcome from this.
Yeah, so if the truckers...
Right, and once again, we know, okay, that this is all orchestrated by the so-called higher ups, to destabilize this current economic structure so they could come back out with, that digital solution that they've already have in the books. You see? Oh, you about to say something?
Well, I had a little article where it says it was like ABC News for fair use.
Okay, you got it.
But just real quick, it says like looming port strike could fuel inflation and cause layoffs. I'm just get right to it. It says a strike lasting only a handful of days would wreak little damage, but a prolonged work stoppage of several weeks or months could drive up prices and some goods and cause layoffs at manufacturers as raw material dry up, experts said. So if this thing continues, like if it happens, or we believe it's gonna happen, if it continues, it's not gonna be just the port people that's on strike. You can have people that they gotta drive to the manufacturer these different materials or these different goods. They're not gonna be receiving them. So what's gonna cause them to start layoffs? So this thing can trickle down to what? You having a certain big moms and pop stores, manufacturers to lay off and close down.
Yep. It's going to be a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember Elder Ariala, you know, he was going into it on one of his algos, you know, a while ago, you know, because, you know, this, the trade and commerce, you know, sector of Babylon the Great, it's very complex, basically, and, you know, for, you know, lack of better words, it's very complex, and the slightest disruption, you know, in the complexities of the trade and commerce sector of America, it could just throw off everything. Like the Ock just said, you know, just, you know, a few days of them being shut down, that can just throw off a whole bunch of other, you know, these trucking companies. They're going to have massive layoffs, and it's going to eventually trickle into, you know, the lives of, you know, the common everyday layperson, man. You see, and once again, it's all going to heighten up crime. Mm-hmm. You see, so it ain't nothing good. It's only evil, and behold, evils to come.
Take on more load, doesn't that mean we see an impact to gasoline prices? I mean, oil prices have come off of the highs in the last couple of months. Does that reverse?
See?
Absolutely. I think you're going to see repercussions that are going to last. So every week is about a month, 2-3 weeks, push out into a quarter to 2 quarters. You could see this spilling well into 2025.
Look at this. It says it could cost $5 billion plus per day. $5 billion plus per day, man. Just for them being shut down a day. $5 billion, you know? And you telling me we not gonna feel any type of effect from that?
Having real repercussions. If the longer it plays out, the more impact you're going to have. So,
and look at the timing, right before the elections.
Yep.
How about that?
36 ports, East Coast, Gulf Coast. This is very significant to the American economy. You can't reroute all this through the West Coast. So shutting down for terms and conditions that are completely out of reach, 70% pay increase, that's what the ILA is asking for. I think you and I would love a 70% pay increase, but that's not reality. So they need to come to the table. They need to.
And that's how you know all this is a farce. Yeah. Because who in the hell in their right mind expects to have a 70%, and some sources were saying an 80%? Who would, you know, come up to their boss, you know, one morning and say, you know what, you know, we're gonna organize a strike until we get 80% increase of pay. Like, you just already know that sounds erroneous. That's a fucking dream, man. Yeah. So that's how you know this is a farce. The elites, the higher ups, they're behind this, and AI pretty much rules this sector of trade and commerce right now at the ports. They already have all these robots, man. Mm-hmm. You know, to pretty much fill in the gaps of actual, you know, human labor. So they don't give a damn if people want to leave. You know, they already got robots to take over, man.
Yep.
Get reasonable, and they need to get a deal.
Well, the last time the Biden-Harris administration got involved in the strike negotiations, the workers got what they wanted. So I wonder where this goes. I mean, you know, obviously the timing was you know, on purpose, intentional timing right before the election. I'm wondering if, in fact, you do see Biden or Harris intervene here and perhaps give the workers what they want. How does this play out?
Well, if they're consistent, they're not going to come to the table. They haven't yet, and we're 5 days out. So this is really significant in terms of leadership. We've got a president, vice president, and an acting secretary of labor that have walked a picket line for the UAW. They are already in the pocket of big union bosses, and they've stated that. So if you're USMX representing the 36 ports, you have no incentive to come to the table if it's led by this administration, because they've already shown their cards. They're already in the pocket of labor.
See?
So there's no way that you can mediate with credibility. That's not leadership. We need it. We need it now.
That's a great point. Chris, real quick before you go, what is your assessment of the economic situation today, and how does that worsen should a strike happen?
Well, I think week over week is how you measure this. I was involved in the Taft-Hartley in 2002 when the West Coast ports shut down for nearly 2 weeks, and we measured in advance the impact that shutdown was going to have week over week. So when I say a week equals a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks equal a quarter, you could see this spill well into 2025. The ramifications, not just to the supply chain, including trucking, but the entire economy.
So did you catch that? So 1 week of disruptance is going to, it's going to take a month for them to bounce back just from that 1 week. 2 weeks, 2 months, so on and so forth, man. There ain't no telling how long this thing is going to go on. And once again, man, what a perfect time and a perfect way, to for the elites to usher in, this digital, infrastructure, man.
Economy. Choice will be limited and prices are going to be higher. So that's not good news going into an election, going into the holidays. This administration needs to get to the table and broker a deal right now.
Wow. All right, Chris, great information from you, and we so appreciate your time.
So yeah, you got anything out?
Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. I'm starting at 3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." And you're gonna start seeing that. You're gonna see the keepers of the house start to tremble. You're gonna see the walking down the street, going to your downtown, to the chief place of commerce in your cities. And you're gonna start seeing more buildings being closed up. How they put the wall, put the actual wood on the doors, because they say they closing down for good. All these places, they're not gonna be like, hey, we close it down in 30 days or a month. It's going to a point you're gonna look up and they're not gonna be there anymore. And then you're gonna have more and more people, your family members, all right, your neighbors say, hey man, lost my job, got laid off. You got more and more. You think they're gonna give you all this money now with going in with what they call it, unemployment? No. Esau's gonna shut everybody down, and you're gonna be looking. You're gonna be having lack of bread. All these things that's gonna happen, and what you're gonna do? They're gonna bring forth a solution, saying we're gonna give you this way. This is the digital system now. We're gonna transition you into this. And he mostly wants you to just be at the house and just give you, like birds, give you a little something here and there for you to have what? for them to have you.
Yeah, UBI. Universal Basic Income.
Mm-hmm. Verse 4 says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." You ain't finna see all this now when you walking out. Like when we just downtown Friday, at camp, the music playing, people driving around bumping their music, people in they dressing their Friday best. All this is going to be put to a halt.
Yeah, traffic.
Traffic.
When you go to the etymology of that word traffic, goes into business.
Yep.
Because when, the reason why there is traffic on the road, okay, Monday mornings got a lot of traffic. Why? Because people are going to their jobs. They're going to their places of business, man. Mm-hmm. So all that's about to be, brought down. Gas prices going up, and once again, massive amounts of layoffs, And scripture speaks about, Ezekiel, the 28th chapter, when concerning the prince of Tyrus, which in these times, spiritually speaking about Esau, Edom, speaks about how that land of traffic is going to basically be destroyed, man. Mm-hmm. You see, because of his whoredoms, because of his witchcraft, his sorceries, his fornications, man. This is all judgment from Yahweh Bashmal Shah. And the elites, they think that they're the ones doing this, bringing the chaos, man. No, it's Yahweh Bashmal Shah putting up on their minds. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it as the rivers of the water wheresoever he will. Mm-hmm. So the Lord is literally making the elites pull the plug on their own kingdom, man.
That's right.
You see? But you got it out.
They say, what you mentioned, Ezekiel 28. Also in there it goes in where it says, "Thou art wiser than Daniel."
Yo.
The Lord gave you that wisdom. All right, but the thing is, what did you do? Did you use it to make things better in the earth? No, you made things worse.
And it perverted thee.
Perverted thee, yeah.
With Isaiah 47, thy wisdom has perverted thee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Esau got so confident in thinking that it was him the whole time doing all this, that he's turned out of the way. You see? He doesn't understand that he's being used by a higher power, man. Just like Pharaoh was used. You see? The Lord built Pharaoh up just to break him down.
Exactly.
Because Egypt was an economic powerhouse in the ancient world, man. Egypt was a superpower, just like America's a superpower. This is why it's known as spiritual Egypt. And that's why it was so magnificent how the Lord, you know, smote Egypt with those plagues. And each plague was you know, fucking up Egypt's economy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we're seeing happening right now. You got it out.
Yeah, it would say he's basically profane. He's a profane. He's outside the temple. Now the Lord is gathering up that spiritual temple, and he want to disrupt it. All right, but how he's doing it is he want to, like I say, start a whole new age of AI. These different things. So he feel like his rulership is gonna reign forever. All right, but the Lord said that he's not at peace with it. He said that he's gonna have conflict basically with
war with Amalek from generation to generation.
That's right, from generation to generation.
The Exodus 17 and 15.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing now. Esau looking at Amalek looks to say, well, we're finna do what? We're finna take out everything what the Lord has set up. Said we can do everything. That's why what was it, Noval Harari talking about we can do everything for ourselves now. We don't need the Lord.
And that's basically the image of the beast in a nutshell.
That's it.
Just to simplify the image of the beast, it's just is Esau's NWO, which is predicated upon Esau exalting his knowledge against the Most High's knowledge, man.
Mm-hmm. That's the same thing Nimrod was doing.
Yeah.
All right, he was basically putting his head against the Lord's head, you know, and trying to get the people. And he became what? He became a tyrant. Now, our people don't look at Esau being a tyrant here, but eventually you're going to see his teeth. You're going to see his veins.
They about to see it.
Mm-hmm. And this is coming, especially when the grinding starts ceasing. You're going to be looking for help. And Esau's going to show his horns at that time. But you still going to try to, but like I said, if you ain't got the Lord, you're going to give in to it because you be like, I ain't got no way out of this. Because you're not looking towards the Lord. You ain't got faith for him. You're looking towards Esau Edom.
Yep. That's all you want on that one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab this, what was that, 2nd Ezra 6, real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. And what are those sown places? Farms, you know, ranches. You see? And they're about to appear unsown. Well, they've already been appearing unsown. Mm-hmm. Okay, these mysterious, you know, fires that's been breaking out. Still to this day, no explanation on how or why they broke out. You see? Just destroying, thousands of acres of farmland. Oh, that's another one. I'm gonna play that next because I got my boy Dabu queued up to speak next, man. But China bought up some more farmland too. You see, and what's that all about? But 2nd Ezra 6 and 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. See, so your Walmarts, your Tom Thumbs, your Kroger's, your Albertsons, you see, your Whole Foods, Central Market, so on and so forth. These full storehouses, they're going to suddenly be found empty. And these port strikes, they're going to be, the contributing factor to that. You see? And once again, we are going to feel it too. Mm-hmm. And that's why the Lord speaks about us possessing our souls in our patience, man. Having that constancy and the endurance, to suffer, for a long duration of time in the spirit, man. And in due time, the Lord is going to he's going to give us aid, he's going to give us comfort and give us provision. But we got to keep the faith. I'm gonna get one more. What's that? 2nd Ezra's. Where's the apocrypha at? Oh, I'm already in it. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. And it reads, a man shall have, let's start at verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. It's going to be, lock dizzies. All right, it's going to be martial law checkpoints. You see, and also next year, I believe it was either March or April. I did a video about it about 2 weekends ago. You got this thing called the Real ID that's going to be mandatory for every, Babylonian to have. If not, you're not going to be able to board any flights, trains. See?
Something like the Kuwait, what is that? That's fingerprinting. That what it sound like.
You said Kuwait fingerprinting?
Yeah.
Biometric.
Biometric fingerprint.
Yeah.
And that is going to be adopted. That like I said, they might say exactly it's the same thing, but it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
We're seeing that with that pact that's going on in the UN. All this is going to be converted and translated into what? Receiving that digital ID. And that digital ID is eventually going to end up, they're going to end up transitioning the digital ID into you. All right? And that's going to become with a small little piece that look like a grain that they're going to start injecting in people. All right? That's the end all be all. He wanted, like, what did, when he was talking to Rockefeller, Aaron Russo, he said, what's the end all be all for all this? And what did he say? He said to get, I think it was Nick Rockefeller. He said to get everybody sea-healed. That's what we want to do. We're going to do all this scaremongering and all this because what? We want to get them sea-healed. So all these things that's happening, this is basically like the priest Tasma said at camp, it's like an implosion. He was like, everything is set up for it all to fall down because Esau is manually setting this up for everybody to receive the sea-heal.
Mm-hmm. So, 2 Ezra 15 and 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. And Lord willing, that's going to come this week, man. And the weeks following. Mm-hmm. Because of all this pride, man. The pride of these women. Oh, boy, man, what these women going to do? Because they're the number one consumers, consumers. Especially the so-called black woman. She getting her bundles from China, her nails from India, her hair, So everybody's about to, feel it, man. Mm-hmm. But especially you women. Y'all can't go a day without, all these particular dainties and comforts. So it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So men are going to be afraid. Yeah. And once again, where is that going to leave these children and these women at? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And what's the modern day sword? The gun. Mm-hmm. It says, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. What's going to bring the lack of bread? Port strikes, all right, farmers, lands being destroyed. Let me go ahead and play that video real quick.
What's up, guys? Dabu7. Want to bring some attention to what's going on with these pieces of land the Chinese are purchasing that butt right up next to our military installations. And it's pretty bad. Across the board, across the country, you can see what they're doing, and I find it hard to believe that our military hasn't noticed this.
And they've noticed it. The thing is that this is all the elites' war, man. You see, all these nations, China, Russia, America, North Korea, all these nations, they're all working for the same, group of men. The top 1%, man. Right. You see, so this is why China is allowed to come over here and purchase, farmlands, man.
Almost feels like it's a big setup.
Cause if we can see it, come on, they can see it, like shit. So this is how it's bigger than what it seems. It all points into these invisible men that you will never see a day in your life, man. The elites. This is their war.
This map. In this map showing the Chinese owned farmland across America. Even in Hawaii, they have some. As you can see here at the bottom.
And that makes sense because remember what happened about 2 years ago? You had that fire in Hawaii. Yeah. What was that in Maui? Mm-hmm. The Maui blast. When Esau was doing niggas up. You see, remember they also had that Mountain Dew. They had that Mountain Dew can. Yep. Dew, which we know it stands for direct energy. You know what? On a Mountain Dew can, and it had Maui blast of flavor of cherry or something like that. It's a devil, man.
Now, even the southern tip of Texas, the very southernmost tip, they have land. The Chinese do. The southernmost tip of Florida, they have land.
And these are those
you can
fanners.
see here, out in the middle of nowhere, Grand Forks Air Force Base. Right next to it, they own land. Okay? Hill Air Force Base, Dugway Proving Ground. These huge patches of land owned by the Chinese out here. Fort Irwin, Camp Pendleton, Yuma Proving Ground surrounded. You've got multiple places down here in Texas. You can see up here, I mean, what are the odds they're butted right up next to these bases, like Fort Leonard?
Well, those are the fanners that the scriptures speak about. Jeremiah 51, verses 1 and 2. And also the Lord says, I will fill thee with men as caterpillars. Then that's not including all the so-called migrants that's been coming over here. And they're not just Venezuelans. They're not just, the tribes from the northern kingdom. They're men from, military age, fighting men from every nation.
Yeah,
Chinese, Africans, Hamites, Elamites.
Elamites, all of them.
Yep.
Leonard Wood here, Whiteman Air Force Base.
White man. White man. Bro, man, he saw this motherfucker, man. The White Man Air Force Base.
Yeah.
You see?
White Man Air Force Base, yeah.
Liberty.
He's right.
Yeah.
And they own huge chunks in North Carolina going up into Virginia, as well as Central Florida. So right here along the coastline, heavily in North Carolina. And we can see down here as well in California, up into Nevada, which is kind of crazy because that's largely owned and controlled, a lot of these areas here, by the government. A lot of these swaths of land going from Utah into Nevada, in the border area right here. And then Arizona, you can see, they've just got huge chunks of land right next to our major installations. What are they waiting for? They're waiting to start blowing up aircraft as it's leaving the airstrip.
There you have it.
As it's taking off with troops. As it's loaded with troops and they sleep at night. We cannot be the only ones that see this, but yet politicians and everyone else wants to turn a cheek to all this. We need some attention on this big time. You want to know where potential people that are coming to take us out are sitting? Well, here's where all the land is that the CCP owns, and I would say that all these Chinese that are disappearing into this country are being housed on these properties. Anyone that has any footage of these locations, these properties, anything going on with them, please let me know. Dabu7 at Yahoo.
So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you got anything to take us out?
This is Psalms 9 and start at verse 7. It says, but the Lord shall endure forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment. And he shall judge the world in righteousness, and he shall minister judgment of the people in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thy Lord has not forsaken them that seek thee. And we're seeing, like I say, the Lord, we got to endure because the Lord is setting up for judgment. All right, he's setting up in the valley of Jehoshaphat for these other nations. And he says he's going to plead for his people, which going into that pleading mean what? To judge. All right. And he's going to, like I said, he's going to cover and guide the men who have, and the women, like you say, the Akim and Aqua, who's going to be basically that know the name and trust in the Lord. And that goes with faith. That's why it goes to say we walk by faith, all right? We don't walk by sight, but we see what's happening, but we put that towards the faith, and we follow what the Lord is guiding us to go through, all right? Through these trying times. These days are evil, and we see that being the evil is just finna spread throughout the world. But the Lord, like I said, put trust in him. Like I said, but he's finna prepare his throne for what? Judgment.
That's right. And I'm just going to read this real quick. The beloved brother GMS Tazadot put it up, 2 Ezra 16 and 40. I'm going to get it in a GNT, and I'm going to start at verse 35. And I'm just going to read it straight through, and I'm going to stop like around verse 46. And And it breaks itself down. Like I said, I'm just going to read it because it's the mindset we should be in. And this scripture's been coming out a lot lately. You know, the beloved Elder Ariala brought it out last night at the class. And it's going to continue to be brought out because this is the mindset that the hopeful elect we have to be in. If we're not in this mindset, we're going to be destroyed. You know, you'll be destroyed if you're not in this mindset. So this is something definitely noteworthy to meditate upon every day. 2 Ezra 16:35 GNT, and the title that the scripture has right here says, "The Most High's people must prepare for the end." So verse 35 GNT. "Now listen to my message, you people who serve the Lord. It is the Lord's message, so receive it and believe what he says. The disasters are approaching rapidly, and they will not be delayed. A woman in the 9th month of pregnancy may suffer labor pains for several hours. But when the time comes for the baby to be born, there is no longer any delay. In the same way, the disasters that are coming on the earth will not be delayed, and the world will groan when it is caught in its labor pains. Listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. When the disasters come, you must live as people whose home is not in this world. Merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives. Their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy. Whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. Farmers should not expect to harvest their crops or pick their grapes. Those who marry must not expect to have children, and those who don't marry must live as if they had been widowed. Anything that is done will be useless. Foreigners will harvest the crops." How ironic. We just watched that video, man, of so-called Chinese buying up this farmland right next to all the bases. "Foreigners will harvest the crops, seize the wealth, tear down the houses, and carry off the children as slaves. Anyone who has children will be bringing them up to be slaves or to die of starvation. Anyone who makes money will do so only to see it violently taken away. The more possessions people gather, the more they spend on their cities and houses, the more attention they give to their personal appearance, the more angry the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will become with them because of their sin." So there we have it, man. That's the mindset we should be in. All right, that is the mindset we should be in, man. That's right. You know, we're gonna leave it at that. You know, we want to leave it at a Selah moment. You know, meditate upon that as we see these evils and pestilences and plagues, you know, brewing up upon this place. Man, we gotta have our minds detached. I know that beloved Elder Bon Sapad out here in GMS Dallas, man, that's all he mentions, man. You got detached from this place. You got detached from this place. You know, that's true. You know, so because we got the world to come. That's for us, man. That's when we can relax, have children, have wives, have land. But right now, man, we trying to get out of this fucking slavery, man. All right, so and with that, you know, ate the water for the precepts. You know, my beloved Akim that posted it. And shalom to all you Akim and Akwaf that tuned in. You know, Abaratazah. This was edifying, comforting, and warning. You know, unto the elect out there. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. I want to give double honors to our beloved apostle, Elder Grade Millstone, Mawaf Lababal, Shalom.